Welcome back to our mini-series. This is part 3 on the professional player pathway and why you need to buy this book. Well, let me correct you. If you don't want to turn into a professional superstar, definitely don't buy this book. Okay, that's one thing I would say. If you do want to turn yourself into a professional superstar, then you need to purchase this book. If you have a look, guys, in our profile on TikTok and Instagram, on our main page, the link's there to purchase the book. A lot of people ask, how much is it? We have 3 options. It ranges from about 50 Australian dollars, which is about 30 US dollars or around about 20 pounds English, maybe 25 pounds English, all the way up to 197 Australian dollars, which is about 110 US or around about 100 pounds. Now, third part of our mini series, we spoke about Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Were they just lucky? Or were they born that way? Did they develop themselves that way? How did they turn into the superstars they are? Do you want me to be really honest with you? It's quite simply due to this super project that we worked on in 2010 and 11 called the EPPP, where the Premier League and the FA wanted to categorise all of the academies and actually start to produce world-class players. What we done was, as a team and as a project, we travelled the world over. We done study visits in Spain, in France, in Italy, Argentina, Brazil, all through South America, even North America. We wanted to see things that were getting done properly. We wanted to see things that weren't getting done properly. And then we collated all that information. Now, Jude Bellingham, he was with a really good friend of mine, a guy called Christian Speakman, and he was at a club called Birmingham City. Now, a lot of people say, oh, he was so lucky, Jude, he was born that way. No, he wasn't. If you want to know the secret recipe of how to make it as a pro, I reveal all the secrets and all of the information and all of the data in there. And in 2025, if you purchase the professional player pathway, guess what? I'll sponsor you for $10,000. And what does that mean? I'm going to give you access to 2 of our most successful programs. Now, you might say, well, is this program proven? Has anyone done it before? Yes. Players like Jude Bellingham worked on the same programs that I've formed under Professional Player Pathway. One of the programs is called the Football Blueprint, and it's mentioned in the book. One of the other programs is called Football Mental Strength Training. You will get access to that no matter where you live in the world. Now, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, were they lucky or not? They were lucky in the sense that they were at very good academies. Birmingham City, though, admittedly at the time, probably not the best academy, and they won't mind me saying that. But he was very, very fortunate, Jude, that he had a few things going for him. The first thing was his mum and dad. Jude's mum and dad literally drove him and his brother backwards and forwards to training every single day. Even when him and his brother got a little bit older and their careers went in different pathways, I know this because I have met Jude's mum and dad before, and I've actually got a really good friend of mine who's an agent, who's really good friends with Jude's mum, and she told me, she said they literally split the family apart. Mum and dad split themselves up to make it possible for both of them to get there. Now, if you've got a mum or dad, you're very, very fortunate. If you've only got one parent, a mum or a dad, then again, you're still very, very fortunate. If you've got anyone in your life who takes you to football, you're very, very fortunate and you should make the most of that. The second thing that Jude was very, very fortunate, he got to work with a guy called Christian Speakman, who was one of the project founders, and he was the technical director at Birmingham City at the time. I got to know Christian over many years on a lot of the Football Association courses and CPD events. Christian is a legend. And he is one of the reasons as well why Jude made it as a pro, because he knew all of the learnings and teachings that we discovered on this book helped Jude and a lot of the other players who went on to make it. Now, the big thing that I always say is really vital as a player, if you imagine a pyramid and imagine the players in the middle, you need the club, okay? You need one parent or a guardian or a set of parents or guardians behind you, and you need a real coach who's going to really buy into you and support you. And I think Jude had that magic triangle of support that we call. Now, one of the things I noticed over the years is that there's a lot of boys and girls out there who don't have the family support, or they might not have access to a top academy. So you might be asking, how can I help? I wrote the book. the professional player pathway. Once you read the book and you get sponsored and you come on the program, there's an opportunity within the book, and I'll show it to you. There is a QR code that you can actually scan. Once you scan this QR code, it will actually allow you to apply for a scholarship. So the QR code's in there. Once you purchase the book, you can apply for a scholarship. Now, we sponsor players, and we've sponsored players from anything from 30, 40%, all the way up to 70, 80% to join us on our program. Some of the things that we'll give you on our program, and again, it doesn't matter where you live in the world. You could live in Australia, you could live in England, you could live in the Middle East, you could live in the middle of the jungle in the Arizona, okay? It doesn't matter. As long as you've got internet access, I can work with you. Part of our program and everything we talk about in the book, we do things like DNA testing. We get you onto a GPS tracker so we can compare your stats against players in Europe. We also get you a match analysis done. You get 2 of them done. And again, we can get your match analysis done by one of the top coaches in the UK. We've had coaches from Liverpool, Bolton Wanderers, Manchester City. We have some of the top coaches in the academy systems doing our match analysis for our players. So again, guys, that's the end of this little mini series and this little episode. Again, don't purchase this book. Please don't purchase this book if you want to turn into a professional football player. If you want to turn into a pro, purchase the book. Jump on. I'll sponsor you for $10,000, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks for joining.